Elon Musk, Kamala Harris, Canada's poopy beaches, Olympic hunger, white men for Harris, and more.
Sounds like I'm going to have fun today.
Rita, you have fun every day. And I usually have to clean up that mess.
Oh well, I'm Rita.
And I'm Rex Jester. And I'm serious.
I'm gonna take you on a ride. We're gonna burn through the night. Why you're so salty? I'll still take a bite.
Okay, we can take my Lambo. I'll put on a tight show. You sure you can handle? We be faster than Django.
I'm gonna take you on a ride.
I suppose we're going to start with America first again.
That's why we call it America First. Hit it! Kamala Harris made this bold statement today.
As the saying goes, if you've got something to say it to my face.
Now I suppose she's hiding so Trump can't literally say it to her face.
I never thought of that. Good point.
I actually wanted to do a quick story of Kamala's space kids.
Go for it.
Thanks. Do you remember this?
So, I may not always be fast to take my parents' advice, but what is the best advice your parents have given you that perhaps you can share with us today?
You know, one of the most important pieces of advice that I can offer you guys, and I want you to really remember this, never let anybody tell you who you are.
So what is the most surprising thing you found about being vice president?
There have been a lot of things because I've never been vice president before, so there are many new things, but I'll tell you one of the things that I'm really excited about, and one of the reasons for our visit and the time we're going to spend time together today is the Space Council.
I know where you're going with this, and I'm going to beat you to it. Do you remember this?
But what's gaining traction isn't the video itself, it's the fact that child actors were hired for the series.
My agent called me and he's like, "Hey Trevor, you booked it."
The good old days. The days when she was harmless.
Speaking of memories, remember yesterday when we ran white women for Kamala?
Karens for Kamala? Yes, I remember.
Well, believe it or not, we've got a new group. White dudes for Harris.
Say it isn't so?
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah, Gabe, this was a little bit of a cheeky event, but 180,000 people tuned in, presumably mostly white dudes, to what was essentially a star-studded Zoom call, kind of a throwback to the COVID days, a parade of beige, as actor Bradley Whitford put it. There was the dude himself, Jeff Bridges, who played the dude in The Big Lebowski, Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker, Josh Gad, Josh Groban, Lance Bass from NSYNC, just a whole bunch of Hollywood royalty.
Mark Hamill, Jeff Bridges, to name a few, joined in the call.
Not to mention all of the regular, everyday Kamala supporters.
Oh no, not again.
I can't help myself.
I proudly support Vice President Harris.
I don't give a get out!
It's not honey anymore, bitch.
Okay, you've had your fun. Can we move on now?
Not just yet. I have a follow-up to this story.
I'm afraid to ask.
What Zoom groups have we had so far?
Well, yesterday was white women for Kamala, then today was white dudes for Kamala.
And tomorrow we have another Zoom group. Fictional characters for Kamala.
Ooh, that's bad. Wait a second. Is that Hannibal Lecter? And Skeletor?
She has support from all over the board.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
I'm ready. Let's talk about Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk and Gavin Newsom are feuding again. It all started when Elon retweeted or re-X'd, or I don't know what to call it anymore. Anyways, he sent out this.
I, Kamala Harris, am your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number one, carefully hide your total incompetence.
I've seen that before. Quite funny. Although, Gavin Newsom wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, Newsom replied fairly viciously. He said, "Manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal. I'll be signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure it is."
Well, before he signs that bill, I suppose I should post this.
I'm Gavin Newsom, and I support this message.
Glad he's spending time on the important things.
Yeah, he's certainly not wasting any time on frivolous things like homelessness.
Funny you should mention that. While I was on his profile, I noticed this.
Why didn't Gavin Newsom do this a long time ago? He's only doing it because, just like crooked Joe Biden, his radical left Democrat presidential candidate, lying Kamala Harris, is losing big in the polls. They just did it for political reasons because she comes from California and looks terrible. Right after the election, it will go back to slum-like condition unless we win. Then America will be great again.
That's a terrible Trump voice.
So I see Gavin reply to this saying Donald Trump is having a bad week. Now California is taking serious action on homelessness and he truly doesn't know what to do with himself. Cue meltdown.
It's good to see he's taking the homeless seriously after 20 years.
Yeah, you're not kidding there. From 2004 to 2011, Newsom was mayor of San Francisco and was heavily criticized for his handling of the homeless situation. During his tenure as mayor, the number of homeless fluctuated, but the city consistently had a large number of homeless population. Many argued that the homeless problem actually worsened during his tenure as mayor.
Then he became lieutenant governor of California. What happened?
Well, in his defense, there really wasn't much he could do. Lieutenant governor has a very limited executive power. But in a nutshell, he didn't do anything.
And in 2019, he became governor of California. At this time, he surely took action.
He did start quite a few initiatives, but overall, for the last 5 years, not only has the homeless population increased in California, but the visible population of homeless people has really been on the rise. Tents and encampments can be seen all over the state.
Donald Trump has had a bad week. Sounds like Newsom has had a couple of bad decades.
It certainly does. Anyways, we have some more Newsom and Musk stories to cover, but we'll do those tomorrow. Let's change it up and move into world news.
Sounds good to me.
Well, we're not traveling far from America today. We're headed to the neighbor to the north, Canada, and yet another poop story.
3 days in a row of poop? Sounds like a fetish.
Hey, I don't make the stories, but you're right about the numbers. Monday we had sharks getting high off cokehead feces. Yesterday we had the Seine River in France filled with poop. Today we're off to the beaches of Ontario, Canada.
So, where's the poop?
The beaches of Ontario, Canada. Ontario's biggest beach, Wasaga Beach, has had a problem recently, and it's causing an uproar. A Wasaga mom of 3 and TikToker, Natasha White, started off the scandal when she posted this. Please pardon the language.
So I'm tired of people saying that the people pooping on the beach, like that's what they do back home. We are not back home. We are in Canada. As a local, I refuse to let my kids dig in the sand on beach 1. And you guys are saying all the tents are gone? No, they're not. No, they're not. The beach is full of tents. Full. And this is not including in the side areas of the beach. There is little treed areas there that is like mini forest, but it's cleared. So people can put up camp there. That is where they're still 100% doing it. And they are still 100% doing it on the beach, but more discreetly. It is still happening. This is nothing that's going to change. People with that mentality will not change it. So people need to stop arguing with me and acting like this isn't happening. This is not just 3 years ago. This is today. This is this week. This is still happening. The tents are still up. The people are still coming. I'm going to clarify something and I'm going to fact check it. I used to live on Mosley Street. My house was on the strip, which meant my house, my backyard was huge and it backed onto that sand parking lot. That's one of the first ones off, like at the main end. Yes, there are Indian families that dig holes and put tents and poop. They do it on the beach now.
Let me guess. She got in trouble for this.
Sadly, you're correct. The mayor of Wasaga flat out denied the claims. Various people and groups were calling her racist for pointing out the race of the people she had witnessed doing their deeds, and then this happened.
It was a big shock to me to open my door to see the officer asking me to come out and then stepping in and having a whole conversation about what I'm posting on social media, which is harming nobody. I want people to know because it is a biohazard. It's the safety and well-being of the kids and the visitors that want to go use the beach. I've had to yell at people for on the borderline property line of my backyard. They're digging holes and they're pooping and putting tents up because they don't want to go to the washroom.
Somebody called in about somebody posting things on TikTok about defecating on.
That's absolute bull.
Rita, careful with the language.
Sorry.
Okay, let's finish up today with sports. I wanted to do some entertainment, but I guess we'll cover that tomorrow.
Let's go.
Another day of problems with the Seine River in Paris, France. The men's triathlon was delayed.
It was at 3:30 this morning this water was tested again. The data showed risky levels of E. coli bacteria again. And it's no surprise the Seine is dirty. For a century, swimming was banned until the Olympics came here. But plans to promote Paris have turned to embarrassment. The men's triathlon postponed hours before it was due to start here.
These Olympics have been problem after problem.
Yeah, well, the good news is the triathlon will be held today, as apparently the river has passed the test finally.
I don't know if I'd want to swim in that river.
A little E. coli never hurt anyone.
Did you hear about the food?
I did indeed. They tried to have an eco-friendly menu for the athletes. It didn't go as planned.
Well, it's been called the Green Games, or tried to be called that anyway, as Paris tries to show off its climate credentials with vegan menus for elite athletes. Ariane Titmus already said the conditions are not ideal as portable air conditioners are having to be brought in. Well, it's created a stir with extra meat and protein now being brought in. We heard this from Matty Johns in Paris yesterday as he's there with the missile. Let's take this.
Well, Australian heavyweight boxer has come out. He wanted lamb chops. Maximum 2 chops per person. Guy's 6'6", be 110 at the best. 2 chops.
Well, Missile, he's come here as a heavyweight. He'll go home as a middleweight.
Anson was quoted as saying that the raw meat is being served to the athletes. Raw meat. While basic food like eggs and chicken, an important source of protein, of course, is falling heavily short, athletes have reportedly resorted to packing lunches and dinners from outside the village.
So now athletes from multiple countries are shipping in their own chefs, eggs, and meat.
Good grief.
What will be next? Well, let's get to the medal count and then we'll get out of here. So, as of now, our gold medal leaders are China in first place with 8 gold medals. Next we have Japan in second with 7. And in third we have France, Britain, and Australia with 6. We'll have more updates tomorrow.
So, now is that time to say goodbye.
Or adieu, or whatever. Anyways, I'm Rex Jester.
And I'm Rita.
And I'm serious. Thanks for watching.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not. What do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump?
Come on, man. Get a life.